This week is Fergus FCCLA's Traffic Safety Vision Zero Week. Vision Zero is a program created by the Montana Department of Transportation that strives for the goal of zero deaths and zero serious injuries on Montana's roadways. Throughout the week, there will be an activity set up in the lobby during lunch designed to educate students about the dangers of driving impaired or distracted. In this video, we will discuss those dangers of driving impaired and distracted. You will hear firsthand accounts as well as advice from community members and professionals. What do you believe are the biggest challenges teens face when it comes to driving safely?
I believe the biggest challenges that face teens when they're driving, based on the data and the research that has been done over the past 20 years, is distracted driving. Distracted driving includes all kinds of things, but the one that most kids think of is their cell phones. Certainly cell phones are a big distraction, whether it buzzes and so you just glance down, or your mom calls you and you panic thinking you have to answer it. But it's more than just cell phones. The research has shown things like eating when you're driving. For example, my own brother, when he was a teenager, he would brag about how he could drive the stick shift while eating a taco from Taco Bell and drinking his Mountain Dew. Any of us who can look at that with a little bit of perspective, we go, oh my goodness, that is dangerous. But to a teenager, if you feel like you can handle it, you do it. And you don't realize how big the distraction is. If you're running late for school, or you're going to hang out with your friends and you're messing with your hair in the mirror or trying to do your makeup, any kind of distracted driving like that is the biggest issue for teens and even adult drivers.
Distracted driving is always an issue. One is to change the music, check text messages. Sometimes it's difficult to wait to change the song or check the text message. One of the big issues is just lack of experience. You haven't come across a lot of different situations and scenarios that can kind of be a struggle to figure out what to do in the moment. The first time I ever drove a car after getting my permit, I was driving my grandma and I was about to miss my turn. I had to turn left and I had to cross over 3 lanes and cars kept coming and I just came to a dead stop in the middle of a 45-mile-an-hour zone. That was just lack of experience.
One of the biggest challenges I see teens have a problem with is distracted driving. Too many friends in the car, there's too much loud music, there's too much going on. People start having too much fun and forget what they're doing and what's important. And I think drugs and drunk driving is too accepted in today's culture.
How prevalent would you say the issue of teens driving impaired or distracted in our community is?
I think it is very prevalent. We've seen lots of accidents, traffic tickets, citations, lots of incidents of it happening. I believe it is too well accepted.
One of the issues that I have specifically with marijuana is a lot of people don't understand how much it really can impair your ability to drive safely. And it can even impair you for up to 24 hours. A lot of people don't realize that or understand that. You think, okay, well, I smoked 12 hours ago, I'm not as high as I was. Doesn't mean you're not still high. A lot of people don't understand just how much marijuana can impair your ability.
How important is it that teen drivers complete driver's education or some type of safety program?
The research has shown that doing a program like driver's ed or traffic education is important for teenagers because we're different from learning how to drive with a parent. When you're with a parent, you tend to argue with them a little more. You're willing to push those boundaries. But when you're with a teacher who has specifically trained on how to teach kids how to drive, kids are a little more willing to listen and a little more willing to trust what their teachers say, because people who do those classes do get more training and have more specific facts to help kids to make good choices. We have things like, if you get a traffic ticket in Montana, a lot of the times a justice of the peace or the judge might say you can get a deferred ticket, which means that for anywhere from a month to a year, maybe even 2 years, if you can go whatever span of time the judge sets without getting another ticket, then it doesn't go on your record. In Lewistown, one of the things they've started doing with that is they say, we will give you the option of a deferred ticket, but you also have to take a Live at 25, which is a safety driving program that is done by the Montana Highway Patrol. And the reason why judges and justice of the peace are offering that is because it really does reduce the number of accidents that kids have, the more training and instruction they get to help them be informed, educated, and more competent drivers.
The lack of experience can get you into trouble. There are a lot of people, if you wait and wait and wait to get your driver's license, you don't have to take anything. And I think that's a huge detrimental to you and everybody else on the road. I think you need those hours behind the wheel with somebody who is experienced driving.
I think it's very important that they do something, some accredited course. It shows that they are committed to learning and to trying to do it correctly. I don't think they should be allowed to have a driver's license unless they have done that.
What advice would you give teens for making safe choices while driving?
When in doubt, wait it out. That is a thing a lot of drivers over time realize. So maybe you've heard your parents say, oh, if the roads are bad, we're just going to stay home. If you're too tired to drive, take a nap. Wait till the next day to go. That's a big thing that we struggle with doing, especially when we're teenagers and young adults, is we're like, no, I want to go hang out. It's fine. I'll be fine. I can make it. You have to learn to trust that we're all human. We need to work within our limitations as people and people who are driving machines on roads. When we can slow it down and realize what our limitations are and realize when maybe situations are going to be either too dangerous or we're just not sharp enough at that moment in time to handle driving, we need to wait it out.
You have to understand that you are driving around 5,000 pounds of steel. Power steering makes it seem like you're driving a toy. It really takes away from the feeling of what it really is. You have to be defensive for the other people on the road. You can't just be a good driver for yourself. You have to be a good driver for them too. Especially if you're driving on the highway. You're going 70 miles an hour. They're going 70 miles an hour. The only thing keeping you safe and alive is that 4 feet between you and the car that's passing. So you have to pay attention for them, make sure that they're driving safe as well. And that's why defensive driving is important.
Have fun, but use situational awareness. Be aware of what's going on in your surroundings. It's okay to have your friends and turn up the music and enjoy yourself, but always be aware what's going on around you and what you're doing.
People care about you and your life. Be safe. Don't drive impaired. Don't drive distracted.